Well, hey everybody, I'm sorry I am a little bit late. I got caught up doing a live stream on my own page that went a little bit longer than I expected, but I'm so glad that you are here for the YouTube Your Church show. My name is Dave Adamson. I am your host for this show, and this is a show where really we're trying to help you get the most out of leveraging the platform of YouTube, which, as we know, is the second biggest search engine in the world. And today I specifically want to answer all of your questions. Every single week I get a whole bunch of different questions in, and I have a spot on the show where I am answering your questions. But today I specifically just want to spend the entire half hour answering all of your questions. So if you've got any questions at all about YouTube, anything to do with YouTube, whether you're live streaming, whether you're doing YouTube premieres, whether you're uploading videos for people to watch on demand, this is the episode where I just want to answer all of your questions and help you get the most out of this incredible platform. So if you've got questions, go ahead and ask them in the chat right now, and I will make sure I get to as many questions as I possibly can. And also, what I want you to do, I want to start by actually asking you a couple of questions. If you're in the chat right now, I want to know, where are you watching from? What city are you watching from? What is the name of your church? I got 3 questions for you. What city are you watching from? What is the name of your church? And if you have a YouTube channel for your church, why don't you go ahead and post it there as well? Because what I want to do is I want to go back later on, go through all the comments and have a look at all of the churches that have posted that I want to check out their YouTube channels. So why don't you go ahead, post that into the chat room right now. Do it right now. I know that Sam's in there, Dave's in there. If you guys can just tell me where you're watching from, and also just let me know the name of your church and what your YouTube handle is so that I can go and check out your church. So today I just want to go through a whole bunch of different questions that people have. I actually posted into this group, the church communications group, earlier today, asking what is your biggest problems. I've taken a selection of those and I've got them with me here. I also posted to my own social media platforms asking churches what their biggest concerns are when it comes to YouTube, what their biggest questions are when it comes to YouTube. And so I've got some of those questions here as well. So I've got plenty of questions to get through, but I want to give priority to anybody who's watching this live. So if you are watching live, go ahead, write your question in the comment section, and I'm just going to get straight to it. Sam. Hey Sam, Sam Linton has already put in a question. He has asked this question. What is the best way to organize media? Also, best way to customize the channel and make it look more like our brand. Sam, that is a fantastic question to kick us off. I think the best way to organize your media is to have on your homepage, on the homepage of your YouTube channel, selected playlists. I wouldn't use the default playlists that are there, which include all uploaded videos and all popular videos. I would replace those with your own playlists, and I would do it in such a way that it was built around 2 things. First is message series. If your church is one of those that do message series, then I would have each message series as its own playlist, and then I would also do it by ministry. So what I mean by that is, if you've got a student ministry that wants to leverage YouTube, I would encourage you to not have them start their own YouTube channel, but instead use the main YouTube channel and just create a separate playlist for them, because that drives all of your church audience, all of your church community to the one specific place, the one channel, and that way you're not diversifying your audience and you're not splitting your audience up. So you can leverage playlists to do that. From a personal opinion point of view, I really like having playlists that are organized horizontally, not organized in a cluster, which is the other option that you have. So that's how I would organize the media that's on your YouTube channel. When it comes to customizing your channel to make it look more like your brand, there are a number of different things you can do. First of all, you obviously have the banner across the top. You want to change that out, and it's sometimes difficult to do, but I've got a couple of templates that I can pass on if that's something that would be helpful. If it is, let me know, and if you say you'd want that one of those templates, I'll make sure to give you access to it, and I'll just send you a link so that you can download it as a PSD, and that way you can make it set up so that you can have your own branding both on the desktop version, the mobile version, and even the television version of YouTube as that platform. Then Sam, you also want to make sure your church logo is included. So what I like to do when it comes to both my banner photo and church logo is, profile pic is to have the church logo as the profile pic, and then make sure that the banner photo is something that is indicative of your church, something that gives people an indication of what it's like inside your church. So it might be a picture of the front door, it might be a picture of the main building, it might be a picture of what's happening inside the auditorium or the sanctuary, so that people get an idea of what it's like. And I would also make sure to include on that banner pic your service time, so that people have at a glance just a quick way of knowing exactly how and when your church meets. So I hope that that's helpful. Hope that answers the question, Sam. Let me know in the comment section. Abby has jumped on, and Abby has asked the question, is there a way to get rid of or change the automatic countdown when you're doing a YouTube premiere? We'd like to start 5 minutes until the and is there a way to go beyond the times that are offered? Abby, unfortunately, there's not, that I've been able to find, a way to get rid of the automatic countdown when you're doing a YouTube premiere. I've not been able to find a way to do that. And really, the chunks of time that they give, I know that they're not down to the detail that we would like, but I'm not really sure that there's a way for us to change those either. The way that I get around that is by leveraging OBS or, oh gosh, I've forgotten the name of the other one. I use software like OBS to stream live. So what I do is, you can take a pre-recorded piece of content and you can run it through OBS or Switcher Studio. That's the other one. You can run it through Switcher Studio as well. And then that way you go live at the exact time that you want to go. And you can do it without the countdown at that point as well. So that way you get around those Premiere things. I know it's a hack to get around the Premiere things that you don't like, but it's the way that I do it because I think it's just a lot more accurate. I'm with you, Abby. I don't like the countdowns either, and so I leverage OBS mostly, but I'm also switching over to Switcher Studio to do exactly the same thing. That way I can take my pre-recorded content, and rather than uploading it in advance and using the Premiere feature, I'm just streaming it simulated live at a time when I want and with all the bells and whistles that I want. So just to give you an indication of that, all of these things that I've got on my screen here, this corner, and whenever I go to a thing like this side panel, I'm doing all of this through OBS. Even the lower thirds that are popping up across the stream, they're through OBS as well. And so if you wanted a countdown, you could build that onto the front end of the simulated live. But if you don't want them, you don't have to do it. That's the way that I've worked out a hack to get around those shortcomings of the Premiere stuff that I don't really like. So I hope that that's helpful. I hope that that answers your question. Shannon, we are doing this on our own. We are the pastors. It's becoming a one-man show. I hope I can help in any way, Shannon. Please let me know, because that's what I'm all about. I just want to help you get the most out of YouTube and to help you YouTube your church. Now, a couple of other questions that I got throughout the morning. I just want to go through a couple of these and let you know what I think the answers might be, or hopefully they'll be helpful. Maybe there's same questions that you have. If you've got any questions, make sure you put them into the comment section right now. So Steve O'Donoghue contacted me earlier today, and he said, hey Dave, we're using OBS to stream Facebook Live. So my questions are, is there a streaming key for YouTube like there is on Facebook? And if so, how do I get the streaming key? That's a great question. I know a lot of people are leveraging pre-recorded videos onto Facebook Live and going straight live to Facebook, and they know all about that streaming key. The short answer to your question, Steve, is yes, there is a streaming key on YouTube as well. And you find it in pretty much the same way, very similar way that you find it on Facebook. When you want to go live, what you do on YouTube is up in the top right-hand corner, you will see a little icon of a camera with a plus sign in it. That is where you go to upload videos, so you're probably already aware of that. When you click that, there's a drop-down menu that appears. It's got 3 options. One of those options is go live. As soon as you select go live, what happens is a new screen opens up, and that screen has the YouTube streaming key on it. Now, it is about half the length of the Facebook streaming key. So you might not be noticing it because it is so short, but it's just the way that YouTube does it. And you want to copy that key, Then you want to go across to either OBS or Switcher Studio and copy and paste that streaming key in there so that you can go live onto that platform. Just make sure when you're in OBS or Switcher Studio and you're pasting in your YouTube streaming key, especially if you've been doing Facebook Live and using their streaming key in the past, make sure you select the YouTube channel on your third-party software, either OBS or Switcher Studio. Make sure you select YouTube. I've tried several times to go live to YouTube and had an issue with it, not being able to figure out why, until I realized I'd pasted my streaming key in the right place, but I hadn't switched over from Facebook Live to YouTube Live. So make sure you go and do that and don't make the same mistake that I made. So hope that's helpful. Abby has asked, is there quality difference in streaming through pre-uploaded on Premiere versus simulated live through OBS? Is there a quality difference? It depends on the quality of your Wi-Fi stream. Because you're streaming live, obviously there could be some breaks that appear if you're not plugged in, if you're not plugged directly from the internet router into your computer. If you're just going through the Wi-Fi, you can see sometimes my video I'm noticing is pausing from time to time. So that's the downside of leveraging a simulated live like OBS or through Switcher Studio, because you're pulling the content from your computer into the third-party software and then across into the platform, YouTube Live. There's always a possibility of that lagging. There are some things you can do to make that work better. One of the things is to shut down any other platform that you have, any other operating system that you have on your computer that's pulling Wi-Fi, whether that's email, Messenger, WhatsApp, Slack. All of those things are pulling Wi-Fi. And if possible, close down as many windows as you can on your internet browser. You obviously need to keep the Facebook page open, but I think probably part of the reason why my video might be lagging a little bit now is purely because I'm as far away in my house as possible from the router, because the router is in our living room and my kids are in the living room, so I'm trying to give them a little bit of space. And also because I've got so many tabs open on my Google, and I should have shut all of those down, so I apologize about that. I hope that answered the question. Keep the questions coming. Chris Taylor, hey Chris, how are you? You're welcome. I'm so glad that I can help as many churches as possible. Tracy has posted her church's YouTube channel in there. I want to encourage you, if you are just joining us, this is the YouTube Your Church show. Today I am answering all of your YouTube questions, or as many of them as I can get to. And but I started by asking you the question. I want to know where you're watching from, and if your church does have a YouTube channel, can you paste the YouTube channel URL into the comment section so that we can all check it out? And I would love to check it out as well. In fact, here's a good thing. One of the things that I got asked earlier today on my own social media was, somebody asked, how do I get to 100 subscribers on YouTube? Now, the reason they're wanting to do that is simply because when you reach certain subscription milestones on YouTube, you get all new features opened up to you on the platform. So, for example, when you reach 100 subscribers, you get some certain new features opened up. One of them is a personalized URL, which makes it a lot easier for you to direct people to your YouTube channel. When you get to 1,000 subscribers, you're able to do some extra things with live streams, and you're in a better position to monetize your channel if that's something you want to do. Also, at 1,000 subscribers, you get a community tab opened up to you, which essentially allows you to post any social media style content onto your YouTube channel, even if it's just a photo and a post. It doesn't have to be a video. So there's things like that. And so a couple of people had asked, hey, how do I get to 100 subscribers? And there's two things that I would suggest. Three things actually that I would suggest. The first thing is, make sure you're promoting your YouTube channel on your other social media platforms. Make sure you're promoting on other social media platforms. Leverage Twitter, Instagram, Facebook to let people know that you have a YouTube channel. Then second, when it comes to your own church community, make sure you're making announcements in your services that you have a YouTube channel and you want people to subscribe. Let them know, hey, when we reach certain milestones, we're able to access more features that allow us to reach more people. So we would love if you could get onto YouTube and subscribe. So there's, first of all, two quick things. Use your social media and let the people in your church know constantly. Don't just do that once, do it multiple times so that they get the opportunity to subscribe to you. And then the third thing I would say is this. Join together with a whole bunch of churches and just start subscribing to each other, like right now. In fact, if you haven't done it already, I want to encourage you to put your church's URL in the comment section, and all of us will agree to not only go and check it out, but to subscribe to your church's channel. If we can all band together and work together, rather than seeing each other as competitors, if we can work together, then there's a lot more chance that a lot more of us will reach that 100 subscriber milestone, and we'll get more features opened up to us and have the potential for our messages to go out to even more people. Okay, so next question. Paul Wiki says, why are so many people using OBS versus a paid broadcasting software, i.e. vMix or Ecamm? It seems the paid are a bit easier to use, but there are some key ways to learn OBS so we can use it to, there's some key ways to learn OBS so we can use it to live stream on YouTube. Paul, I think the reason that people are using OBS versus paid broadcasting software is that a lot of churches can't afford vMix or Ecamm, so they use OBS completely because it's free. I think OBS is pretty easy to use. Once you spend an hour or so with it, you can figure it out. I actually have done a video on my YouTube channel that is like a class on how to use OBS to live stream to YouTube. So you could always check that out. YouTube.com/Aussie Dave. If you just check that out, or just go to YouTube and search for Aussie Dave, you'll find that video there. So I really think, Paul, that the biggest thing is budget, and people like OBS because it's free. Jessica, hi, can you live stream from multiple locations to a YouTube channel? For instance, link music from one location and teaching from another. Great question. The short answer is yes, you can, but you have to leverage a third-party app like Switcher Studio is a great one to do that, or OBS. That's another one that you can do it. So Jessica, yes, you can do it from multiple locations, but you have to be leveraging something like OBS or something like Switcher Studio. I highly recommend both of them. Switcher Studio is just a fantastic platform to use. I'm using OBS for this live stream simply because I'm trying to get through as much content as I possibly can, and this has made it easier for me because I've already got it set up. But I will be using Switcher Studio soon, so that's a great thing to use. Hope that answered the question. If it didn't, let me know. I'm so glad to see there's a whole bunch of people who are putting in their church's YouTube channels. That's great, because I want to make sure that we all check them out, and I want to encourage you guys to go to those YouTube channels and just hit that subscribe button. Really help that church get to those new features from YouTube. So even if you don't watch any videos on their channel, just hit the subscribe button so that they can figure that out. That'd be fantastic. Chris Taylor, waiting on the 30 days for our account to get the custom URL. I was dumb and used my personal account to, so Chris, we'll be praying that time goes really quick and you can get that personalized URL. Daniel Mosley says, it seems that YouTube and Facebook algorithms tend to favor/promote live video over pre-recorded uploads. Is this accurate? And if so, is there a better way to stream pre-recorded media? Daniel, yes, I see that as well. I think that those platforms do push or favor live video content, and I understand why, because live content generally goes a little bit longer than a pre-recorded video, so that could be part of it. Live video is also a lot more engaging from the point of view of people doing exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm answering questions in the chat room, in the comment section, so that you can so that's a lot more engaging. So that's one of the reasons why, Daniel, I think they promote and favor live recordings. If so, is there a better way to stream pre-recorded media? Yes, there is, Daniel. Again, it's the same thing I've been pushing for this whole show. OBS or Switcher Studio both allow you to do what's called a simulated live. You can take your live content, you can take your pre-recorded content and stream it simulated live through OBS or through Switcher Studio. I've actually done this a lot of times for our church here in Atlanta. Our worship teams have pre-recorded some worship sessions, or somebody has sent me iPhone video of them leading worship from their lounge room. I take that content, I put it onto my computer, and then I stream it as a simulated live event through OBS. So what happens is OBS and Switcher Studio make YouTube believe that you're streaming something live, even though it can be pre-recorded. So that's the answer to the question, Daniel. I hope that was helpful. What worked for our church was to post. This is Chris Taylor. What worked for our church was to post within our church Facebook group. That's how they reached 100 subscribers. Chris, that's a fantastic idea. Yeah, it seems to me that a lot of people miss that they can post about their YouTube onto their church social media accounts, and you'll get your 100 subscribers pretty quickly. Again, so glad that people are posting their church URLs, their church YouTube channels into the chat. That is absolutely fantastic. Keep that up. And once again, I'm going to shout out to anybody who has just joined us. As you see all of those church YouTube channels pop up in the comment section, make sure you click on them and just hit that subscribe button. Help those churches get to 100 subscribers so that they can open up new features, or help them get to 1,000 subscribers so that they can open up some new features as well. I think if we're all in this together and we're all on the same team, doing stuff like that is not competition. It's actually just being helpful and being generous. So make sure you go in and do that. We've got about maybe 10 minutes left to go. So if you've got any questions, about YouTube, make sure you pop them into the comment section or the chats, and I will make sure that I answer all of them. There's a couple of other questions that I got on social media today, earlier this morning, and I just want to make sure that I get to all of those. Somebody asked, Benjamin, Wind Office said, is there a way to take out the countdown on Premiere? If not, is there a way to fine tune it? I think I already talked about that hack of leveraging a third-party software like Switcher Studio or OBS to get around the countdown and to make it a little bit, be able to present your content at a time that's more suitable to you. Jenny Hendricks, how to load a pre-recorded video as live. I think I already answered that one. Karen Stuckey, 100 subscribers. Jim Keat, how to increase distribution so we're not relying on subscribers or search. So basically, Jim is asking, how do I get more people to see my content so that I can go beyond the number of subscribers that I have? That's a great question, Jim. Thank you so much for asking that. I think one of the things we miss when it comes to YouTube is that YouTube is a social media platform. And as a social media platform, the algorithm, just like it does on Instagram, just like it does on Facebook, it rewards you if you are active on that channel. So a lot of us, what we do is we post our own content to YouTube and then think we've done our part, but we don't go and watch other people's content. Or if we are watching other people's content, we're not engaging with it. We're not giving it a thumbs up. We're not subscribing to their channels. We're not leaving a comment. Yet those things, when we do those things, YouTube sees us as an active participant on the channel, and they're more likely to show more people our content because we're going and watching other people's content. So again, today I've asked all of you guys to go into the comment section, click on all of the YouTube links that that people are posting for their church, and just engage with their content. If you do that, not only are you helping that church, but you're going to be rewarded by YouTube because they're going to show your content to more people. So we've got to be active on these platforms, and the more active we are, then the more distribution we get for our own videos. Addison Roberts, how are you doing Sim Live on OBS display capture? I think you're talking about this right now. I'm literally got OBS open. You can do this with Switcher Studio as well, but I've got the OBS platform open, and I'm being captured by OBS, which is being streamed across to YouTube Live. That's how I'm actually doing this. And by doing it that way, instead of just going live from my computer straight into Facebook, which you can do, by doing it this way, I'm able to get some of the bells and whistles that you can see. So you can see up here, I've got a little logo. Down here, I've got some lower thirds running across the screen. They're all things that I've created in OBS, and that's pushing it out to YouTube. So you can see my Twitter account there, Aussie Dave. Go and give me a follow. But that's happening through OBS. And when I do things like this side panel, again, that's all set up inside OBS that allows me to do all of this sort of stuff. So it's basically running, if you could see my screen right now, maybe I'll take a photo of it and let you guys see it. I'll post it in the comment section, but I've got one screen open here with OBS, and I've got another screen open here with Facebook running. So I've got two screens open at the moment on my laptop, and that's how I'm actually doing it. Addison, I hope that answered the question. If it didn't, make sure you go back in and let me clarify. Hey, Zachary just said, hey, how are you doing online follow-up or getting people to fill out a card? Zachary, that's such a great question. Yeah, now we're talking about not just the process of streaming, but we're talking about online ministry, and I absolutely love that we get to talk about that. So there's a number of different ways. I always make sure that whenever I'm posting content to a YouTube channel that I'm providing a call to action that's providing next steps for people. If we just post a video and think we've done our job, then we're missing the opportunity to make those deeper connections. So a couple of different ways that I would do that. One of the ways is by leveraging this content in such a way that you're always asking people to engage. Hey, if you've got questions about this, make sure you leave us a comment, and we're going to follow up with everybody who leaves a comment. Something along those lines encourages people to comment. Then also in the description, ask a question. Like tell people, hey, we want to connect with you, and provide next steps about how people can connect with you. Whether that's a website where you can fill out where they can fill out some information, or maybe it's follow you on another social media channel. All of these things help people take the next step towards connection. Another thing that I like to do is ask a question in the comment section as the first comment, and then pin that to the top of the comments. So when somebody's watching the content, there's a question for them to respond to that comment, to that content in the comments section that you pin to the top. So that's the other way that I do it. And then I always make sure that when I'm posting my own content on my own social media channels, I'm making sure that I'm responding to every single comment that comes through. So I think churches can do a little bit more of that. We're so good at doing it on Facebook that we should be doing it on YouTube as well. So that's a couple of ways that I do that. I hope that answered the question. You said you're doing Sim Live on OBS though. Yes. Addison, thank you for clarifying. You're familiar with OBS. So what I'm doing is on OBS, because you're familiar with it, I'll put it this way. So when you're in the OBS platform, you'll see there's a little bin called sources, and you can add new sources in there. So for me at the moment, the source that I'm running is a graphic, or it's actually two things. It's the graphic that's right here, and it's the lower third that's there. There's my Instagram handle, Aussie Dave. Go and give it a follow. So I'm running those two as sources right now. So if you want to get a simulated live, what you would do is in the sources bin, you would hit the plus button, the plus symbol, and that will pop up a drop-down menu that gives you all these options to do. One of those options is media, and you just want to click on that, search your computer, upload the video that you've got, and it puts it in as a source in the sources bucket. So that's how you do it. And you're basically just running the video through OBS into YouTube and running it as a simulated live. I hope that clarified. Thank you for asking that in a little bit of a different way. Addison, we are at 400 or so, pushing towards 1,000. I'm subscribing to every channel though. Good on you, Addison. I'm so glad that you're doing that. That's outstanding. I'm going to be going, as soon as this show's over, I'm going to be going back through all the comments and making sure that I give everybody a follow as well. Okay, Zachary, that's good. Addison, amazing. Thanks. John, we also created a fillable form on website, post to link to it and ask people to click that link. That's a great, John, that's a great idea. So what John's saying is he's created a splash page or a landing page where people can fill out their own information, and he's making sure that in every piece of content, every video that goes out, he either starts or ends, is what I'm thinking, John. Hey, if you're new, if this is the first time you're watching this stream, make sure you click on the link below in the description so that we can get some information about you and stay in contact. I'm assuming, John, let me know, but I'm assuming that that's the sort of thing that you're talking about. That's a great idea to do. We've got to leverage this technology to help create deeper connections. And one of the ways we do that is during the video, literally making that call out. Again, if you've seen anybody who's a YouTuber who's got lots and lots of subscriptions, like one of the guys I always watch is Peter McKinnon, and Peter McKinnon has like over 2 million subscribers or something along those lines. Yet at the end of every single video he does, he always says, hey, give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Like, even though he's got this many followers, he's still giving a call to action to everybody who watches his content to like the video and to subscribe to his account. So if we can do something along those lines, that's a great way to get more subscribers and help people engage as well, and help people go to a landing page where they can fill out a form, maybe leave some details, maybe leave a prayer request, something along those lines. I think they're all great suggestions. John, that was fantastic. Thank you for doing that. I think I'm going to take one more question that I got earlier today, and if one more pops up in the comments, I'll take that one as well. Somebody, Stan Smith, asked me this earlier this morning. I'm using my Galaxy phone to live stream twice a week. It's going well, but I wonder if I can get a mic to plug into the phone to improve the sound quality. That is a great question for a couple of reasons. One, what I've realized from doing YouTube for the last couple of years is that people will put up with bad video quality, but they won't put up with bad audio quality. And so if you've got any money to spend, even if it's only $50 to spend on YouTube, and you want to upgrade something, don't upgrade the camera, upgrade your microphone. It always makes such a huge difference. And when it comes to streaming on your phone, the microphone on your phone might be good, but if you've got AirPods or earbuds or a headset with a mic built in, that's going to improve the quality one level. Then there's also a whole bunch of different microphones that you can buy that plug into your phone. If you've got an iPhone, it will plug into the Lightning port, for example. There's a whole bunch of different options. If you want to find out some of those options, if you go to kit.co, kit.co, kit.co/Aussie Dave. I've got a whole bunch of different options there where like I've created packages. And it's not that I'm selling them, it's just content, it's just equipment that I've used and would recommend. And I've separated them into pro level, prosumer level, amateur level, and budget level. So if you want to find out some cheap microphones or cheap lighting sources like I've got here, if you want to find some of those things out, just go to kit.co/Aussie Dave, kit.co/Aussie Dave. Check out the comment section. I'm going to post that link a little bit later on. And John is explaining that he pins it in the description, the URL to the contact form as well. James Martin, Dave, what's up? Does YouTube have a host badge for the chat hosts? James, no, it doesn't, unfortunately, but you can go in and change your name, and that might, because what I'm assuming is you want your volunteers to be in the chat and to be identified as chat hosts. I would just make sure that they're identifying themselves, maybe changing their name to the church name, or maybe volunteer James, something along those lines might be a good way to do it. Shannon, our YouTube channel was created in 1998. Wow. And we want to change the URL to our actual church name and not the acronym, but we have tried without success. Does having only 65 subscribers make that change impossible? Shannon, yes, it does. You have to have at least 100 subscribers to be able to get a personalized URL. So make sure, Shannon, that you put your church URL, your church YouTube URL into the comment section, because everybody who's watching this right now, they've promised to go in and subscribe to every church that does that, and I'm going to do it as well. So let's try and get Shannon's church over that 100 mark. That would be absolutely incredible if we could do that. Richard Hartman, what is the best way to organize your videos? Richard, on the homepage, you can create playlists, and I would highly encourage you to do playlists. My personal opinion is it looks better when you do them horizontally, not as clusters. So I would be saying if your church is doing a 6-week series on the Gospel of Mark, then create a playlist for that message series called the Gospel of Mark Explained or something, and then put all 6 videos into that, and then the next series starts, do that again, like create a playlist for that message series and put all of your videos in there. If you want to have your high school ministry, your middle school ministry put content up as well, or maybe your kids ministry wants to put up content, especially now during the pandemic, then have those as separate playlists as well. I always encourage churches, don't have your high school ministry start another YouTube channel, because you want to keep driving all of your traffic to that one centralized channel. Otherwise, like the person earlier, Shannon, you're only going to have 65, 10 years from now, you're going to have 65 subscribers. You want to keep getting that up and up and up. Whole bunch of new comments are coming in, so I'm going to go just a little bit overtime on this video. Sorry, Kenny. I hope you understand. Shannon, thank you for putting in the kit.co. There it is right there in the comment section, kit.co/Aussie Dave. That's where you're going to find a whole bunch of things, including the lighting rigs that I'm using, the microphone that I'm using, and some other options as well to live stream from your phone, separated into categories of budget. So make sure you go and check that out. That would be awesome. Shannon, I really appreciate you putting that in there. Is there a way to change the owner of a channel? Benjamin asks. Yes, there is a way to do that. It is extremely convoluted and hard to figure out, Benjamin. But what I'll do is I'm going to create a PDF resource that I'm going to post in here once it's done that will walk you through those steps. Essentially, you have to go to the Creator Studio and then go into settings, and it's done through Google, not through YouTube. So you have to change it there. There's an option where you can go to manage the people who are connected to the account, and then you just switch over the job that they have. They can either be somebody who owns the channel or somebody who just manages the channel. But Benjamin, it is convoluted. It is hard to describe. So I think I need to show it. So either I'm going to create a PDF or I'm going to create a video and show you exactly how to do that. And I'll make sure I post it here. So keep an eye out for that. What is the best software to get up and running with DSLR and live with lower thirds, easy to use? Chris, there's two that I've been recommending this whole show. I'll recommend them one more time. OBS. Go to obsproject.com or Switcher Studio. Just Google Switcher Studio. I think it's switcherstudio.com. Go and check both of those out. They're the best ways. They're the best third-party software that I know that runs the lower thirds like I'm doing here. Is there a way to premiere a live streaming? Yes, there is. But again, that's a little bit convoluted as well, Andreas. But I'm more than happy to post about that in this chat room as soon as I'm off this call, as soon as I'm off this live stream. Can you change your URL once you've customized it? You actually are only allowed to change it once, Sam. So you have to choose very wisely. You get one more chance to customize it. Again, I'm so glad that people are posting their church URLs in here. This is absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate all of you guys doing that. Okay, I've come to the end of the questions there. I've still got a whole bunch from social media that I'm going to be answering, but I'm going to do that on social media. I'll do it here as well. So make sure you keep posting your questions about YouTube. I want to encourage you with this. If your church is leveraging YouTube, which so many of you obviously are, YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. For a whole generation of people, YouTube has become the place where they go to find answers for everything, from fixing their car to fixing their marriage. So the fact that your church is streaming live to YouTube or putting any content up on YouTube means that you're going to be helping a whole generation of people get to know the gospel, get into a closer relationship with Jesus, and take the next steps in their faith journey. So I just want to encourage you guys, keep doing it, keep pushing with YouTube. If I can help in any way at all, I want you to connect with me. There's a couple of different ways you can do that. The easiest is through my social media accounts. Specifically, I'm on Instagram. There's my Instagram handle right there. If you DM me any questions at all, I will make sure that I respond and help in any way possible. I just really want to help the Capital C Church get the most out of YouTube. Another way that you can contact me, which is super, super easy, is I always leave my text. There it is. It actually just popped up. 201-267-2156, 201-267-2156. If you've got any questions about YouTube, about anything from online ministry point of view, send me a text and I will happily respond to everybody. The only reason I give away my cell phone number is because I just want to help the Capital C Church succeed, and I want to help you YouTube your church. I'll see you next time.